The 2025-24 off-season has been a wild one. Not the most active you've ever seen, but it's been quite interesting. And over the course of this time, there's been quite a few things related to Alpine. And honestly, this is a very cutthroat thing. And with how Alpine is treating its junior drivers, I'm surprised they have an academy left. This video is going to be just focused on Alpine F1 team and its treatment of their junior drivers in recent times. We've seen quite recently Jack Doohan's gotten his call up to the Formula One team after being part of the Alpine F1 team driver academy for quite some time after formerly being of Red Bull. He originally moved to Alpine because smaller academy, less drivers, less competition, more likely to get a seat as it's less saturated in the academy itself, which on paper, quite a smart move. In actuality, it's paid off for him, but for the other juniors in that program, not so much. An example of this not working very well, Oscar Piastri, when that whole contract dilemma went down. Alpine didn't want to sign Alonso on a long-term deal like they had done with Ocon. Alonso found out, got unhappy, signed with Aston Martin, so they naturally went to Oscar Piastri, even though they hadn't renewed his contract by the date he had asked them to. He was free to talk to a team, spoke to McLaren, signed with McLaren. They preemptively said, oh, we're signing him for an extra year so he can race for our team next year. If he does well, we keep him. Doesn't do well, replace him. Maybe let him go, keep him in the reserve team. Do whatever. They announced that, but he's already got a contract with McLaren. That's a whole massive dispute, fallout, and the Alpine F1 Driver Academy is in shambles. Where Piastri, for his sake, it was quite a good decision to move to McLaren. They won the constructors last season. He's had race wins, race podiums, outscored Alpine in a couple of seasons, and as a whole, it's worked out well for him. Alonso, while he wasn't part of the F1 driver academy there, he made a good move in leaving Alpine, went to Aston, got podiums. Yes, they've fallen back in recent times, but now they've got Adrian Newey to work on the 2026 car and onwards. So it might be looking well for him, and it genuinely, if the car is designed well enough, he could get a podium. But focusing back on the juniors, Doohan now is in an obscene amount of pressure, with it being revealed he might have a 5-race contract, rolling contract, given to him by Briatore, where he has to perform. This is more cutthroat than Red Bull's ever been. This is more cutthroat than I think any team's ever been with any driver, really, as he's got 5 races to prove himself after only doing 1 race in the past year, which is quite cruel. Yes, we see that Colapinto's there, but effectively, for all Alpine Academy junior drivers, Colapinto has come in and cut in line. Next in line was Paul Aaron. Paul Aaron has got to the front of the queue. He is next in line for that Alpine seat. Then Briatore's poached Colapinto from Williams, which a lot of teams were reportedly looking to do. Sources saying Red Bull, a couple of sources were going Sauber/Audi, but that was quite unrealistic. V-Carb, or Racing Bulls, whatever you want to call them, got poached by Briatore in the end, and Alpine. He's come in and is now ahead of Aaron. So on Aaron, that's quite unfair, as he can't really do any more than he has been doing. Come from Formula 3 to Formula 2, had a very strong year, finishing P3 in the drivers' standings, I believe. It may have been 4th, actually, because of... I think it may have been 4th, actually, but he had quite a strong year, all in all, to be fair, in Formula 2. And I think he's back there this season, where I reckon he might have a quite good shot at the title, all things considered, if he is back there this season. Where your likes of Doohan didn't race last season at all, and now you got Colapinto, proven in F1. And then behind that, in the Alpine Academy, it's quite unknown, to be fair. Kushmini, quite a few others. It's not really that strong of an academy, bar that. So Aaron will be quite disappointed to have that opportunity gone. But I do reckon in the background he will be working to show himself, to prove to the team, hey, I'm here. I've been part of your academy for over a year now. I came from Mercedes to you. I could have stayed at Mercedes, but Kimi was ahead of me. which honestly I think Kimi would have got a whole lot of ahead of a lot of junior drivers because of Verstappen 2.0. But Aaron has become like the number one driver for the junior team. Doohan got ahead of him. He'll feel hard done by in that regard. But he'll be been like, oh, I'm first in line now. Doohan's got the seat. Anybody needs a call up, I'm there. I'm the reserve driver. I'm the third driver. Get me in there. I'm ready. Get me in. Now Colapinto's come along. He's taken that role. No team needs this many reserve drivers. There's three. There's Rio Hakara, Paul Aaron. I apologise. I have just butchered Rio's name. And there is now Colapinto. No team needs this many. No team has this many, I believe. Maybe McLaren, but McLaren always have a lot because they're in many sports. So it is looking like Colapinto or Aaron will get the seat at some point in the year. Maybe after the 5th race of the season. Maybe before that. Maybe after that. Maybe at the mid-season mark. Who knows? I would like to know what performance targets he has to meet with the state of the team. As last year they had a slow start, but ramped up quite a fair bit. And Gasly managed to get the most out of the car, where Ocon started to fail. Was there a disparity? There was a different front wing. That was about it. I don't believe the front wing cost him 2 seconds a lap. But let's see. Equal cars at the start of the year. Is Gasly just on another level? Are the junior second drivers being forgotten about? I don't really know, but I do think the situation at Alpine is going to get out of hand again. If Colapinto gets the seat, Aaron will be screwed over. Doohan will be screwed over. That's 2 more Alpine Academy drivers. So that's 3 in recent years who have had contract dramas with Alpine in some regard. Doohan getting very harsh treatment, probably worse than Red Bull treatment of junior drivers, as he's being acknowledged more than what Helmut Marko does with people, and is being, well, shot. He's being told to run before he can walk. It's harsh. But again, the argument is this is F1. It's the high pressure environment. You have to perform or die. Nick De Vries is an example. He came in, got replaced. Daniel Ricciardo replaced him, got replaced by Lawson. It's a secular thing. Nobody continually stays in the sport, as Perez has finally found out. There are links to Perez. I'll cover that at some point. However, here and now is Alpine might be going through drivers quite quickly. And I don't know what this means for their academy. Their academy might just bite the dust, as they are now focusing solely on their car development, getting rid of their engine. They're quite an unknown this season. However, we were saying this about Haas last year. We were saying Haas needs to sell up shop, but look what happened to them. They flew up the standings. And fair play to them. They had such a strong year, and I believe Haas can keep this up. But now this light's moved from Haas to Alpine. Can they perform? Can they keep this up? Do they need to sell to like the likes of High Tech, to the likes of Toyota, who have come in as a sponsor, who are now sponsoring Toyota and Alpine? Will Toyota take them over? Will High Tech take them over? Will the Alpine brand disappear? Will they go back to Renault? Who knows? With so many different investors and so many teams and brands now looking to get into Formula One, it isn't impossible for Alpine to disappear from the sport after having such a turbulent time in recent history, compared to where they were in 2022 with these new regulations to now, is such a far cry for the team. But all things considered, Alpine are a mystery to most. Briatore's cutthroat, and we'll see how this year plays out all in all. And this has been my take on the whole situation with everything done. And if you're interested to see my opinions on where teams will finish, specifically Alpine, as that's my newest video and newest prediction, look at my shorts. There's 6 of them out. There's McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Aston Martin, and Alpine currently out. The next 4 will be coming in the next coming days. I think the next 4 days-ish, they should be all out, completing the series, where then afterwards I will be making a long-form video on that. And if you'd like to be informed when that releases or when my shorts release, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and please like if you liked it, and leave your comments down below on what you think and what you don't like and what you do like. Thank you for your time, and I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Hoverforce F1. Goodbye.